What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. Did you guys get your 5 stocks from Moomoo yet? If you didn't, use my link down below. Deposit at least $100 and you could get up to 5 stocks, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. Literally free money. Again, link down below. And now let's talk about the markets, stocks, what the heck is going on, and of course what I'm looking to do. So hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get right into the video. So we had a red day. What else is new? We had a big red day today in the stock market. The S&P 500 went down 0.7%. Same with the Dow now that I'm looking at it. And we had the Russell down 0.9% and the Nasdaq 100 down 1.1%. And we had the VIX surprisingly down 1.3% as gold breached over 900. And we had silver or 1900. Gold went gold looks like it went down a bit on the day, but still closed above 1900, which is good. Silver is right around 24 an ounce. It went up 0.5% on the day. And what I'm noticing here is on SPY on the 20-day chart, number one, we're downtrending. No, it's nothing new at this point, right? We're seeing a death cross. And today being Friday, and mind you, Monday, the markets are closed, guys. So keep that in mind. We have a short week next week. Today we closed under the lows from the beginning of the week. Those lows were at about 450 or 435, 436 roughly. And today we closed in the low 434s. So we took those lows out. That's not good. And again, we closed under the lows from earlier this week. So at this point in time, there's really no support for SPY until we get to around $425. So that's what I'm going to be watching next week. Who knows? We might actually bleed down to that point next week. And the bad thing about long weekends, guys, is we have 3 days now. The markets are not closed. And bad news could come out in these 3 days, and the markets could tank on Tuesday. It's happened before. So watch out for that on SPY. Triple Q, we got to be watching, and same with SPY, right? Or rather, same with Triple Q, like SPY. It broke under the lows from earlier this week, right? Those lows were right around 342.70, and today we closed at 341.50. So that's not good. Now we don't have any support until about 335 to about 336, which were the lows, that range. Those were the lows from the end of January. So if we end up breaking under these points, guys, which could very well happen next week if we get bad news over the weekend, this could easily start going down. Triple Q, I mean, we're going to be at a multi-month low. I mean, we already are at this point. But if we break under 336, we might be going down to 315. I've mentioned that before. And for SPY, if we break under, let's say, 425, 430, this could be going down 415, 405, support levels from back in May, June. So to that, hopefully it doesn't happen, but cheers, guys. Happy Friday. Let me get some coffee in my system. Yup, it's 4:50, and I'm still drinking coffee. Hold up. I just like coffee, guys. I'm not going to lie. So, yeah, that's SPY. Those are some things I'm looking for this upcoming week and kind of how today ended up playing out. Let me know your thoughts on the markets down below in the comments. And you guys know I'm watching gold. I think gold is going to be breaking out. It's already breaking out, and we've been calling that. So I'm very excited to see how that turns out. So let's talk a little bit about some stocks. Ford's number one, ticker symbol F. This went up 2.85% on the day today, and these shares jumped in the morning, I believe, early in the session, when we got news that the CEO, Jim Farley, is weighing whether to separate its EV business from the automaker's traditional engine operations. So separate the EV business from the ICE vehicles, right? That's what they're looking to do, supposedly here. And Farley wants to separate the electric operations from the ICE business and has considered spinning off one or the other. So essentially, I just said the same thing twice. So that's what they're looking to do at this point in time. And the stock's running on that. I'm not sure if this is, I don't think it's official by any stretch of the imagination. It's just an idea, I guess. And I'm not sure how far this is going to go. It might crumble. They might stay the same. Who knows? But at this point, stock is moving up. We are breaking out of the 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart. We closed above the 50 moving average, which we haven't done that in about a month. So that's a good sign here. Maybe we start getting some momentum back to 2021 bucks. I mean, there's a wide open gap here. Excuse me, guys. Wide open gap here between us at 18 and 2021 bucks, which is right by this moving average, the next moving average coming up, the 180 SMA. So I'm going to see if this ends up panning out. I'm going to put my alert at 1850, which I believe was the high from today. And if we take that high from today out at some point next week, hey, this could end up ripping towards 20 faster than a lot of you and myself could even probably imagine. So we've seen Ford do some crazy stuff this year, in the past year in general, right? So Ford's number one. We're watching it. I'm looking at it more as a trade here. Cisco also looks pretty good. Let's pop up this chart. CSCO is the ticker. Cisco went up 2.6% today, broke out of the 50 moving average a couple of days ago after they reported earnings, and now we're really at a big sticking point right by the 180 SMA here, right at 58 bucks per share. Not only was that resistance just a couple of days ago, right after the earnings report, we got to 58, so that's a big reason. Not only is that a big reason for it being a resistance, but also a couple of months ago, back in November, we ended up failing at 58, dumping down to 51 before ripping all the way to $64. So at this point in time, I'm going to set my alert at 58.25. That's it. If we take that point out, we break the moving average. 60s is right around the corner. If we break 60, this thing's going to fly, in my opinion. So I'm putting my alert, again, at 58.25. Mark is at or above. ORLY, let's pop this one up. O'Reilly Automotive. This is another one that's setting up. This is one that popped up on my scanner today, and I was just looking at different stocks, right? This one's breaking out. The trend looks nice. We haven't really been going down as the markets have been going down. This stock hasn't been going down. Clearly, it's been the opposite, so that's nice to see that this one has been doing pretty well, holding up nicely compared to a lot of other stocks. It looks like they just reported earnings. Let's take a look here what they did. Looks like they ended up, I'm not seeing it here actually, guys. Actually, no, I see it. $7.64 EPS versus $6.05. So they crushed EPS. They did $3.29 billion in revenue versus $3.10. So they crushed, double beat. They see full year 22 EPS well above the estimate. Same with sales. So they're crushing it, guys. Guidance is good, and I always say, watch out for that guidance. If it's strong, the stock's going to do well, most likely in the short term. Obviously, that's not a blanket statement. It's not always going to happen like that, but a lot of the time, guidance is strong. Stock does well in the short term. So O'Reilly at this point, I think, could be a nice swing trade, for me at least. Obviously, you guys must do your own research, but for me, based on what I'm seeing, the chart, earnings, we also have an inverse head and shoulders here, if you guys can see it, right? You guys see that? There we go. This might be going back over 700. So I'm keeping my eyes on O'Reilly as a trade here. DAL as a trade as well is one that I'm looking at, and I just realized I rhymed. Look at that. Look at this stock, guys. DAL went down 1% on the day, and this has been reversing. I mean, if you've been watching these airlines, a lot of them in general, let's pop up Jets, the ETF. Let's see if this is doing well. Probably is. Yeah, Jets has been reversing. Look at that. Above the moving averages, golden cross, and you're seeing that on a lot of these airline stocks over the past couple of weeks as we've really seen. I think it's really because Omicron's come down a big chunk, right? No one's really talking about it. That goes back to what I said in my fear-mongering video. Go watch that video, guys, about the mainstream media. So a lot of it's kind of like we're seeing a relief rally in all these airline and travel stocks. Going back to DAL, you know, it's well above, well, I don't want to say it's well above the moving averages, but it's riding the moving averages. We're seeing a golden cross, clear reversal here, and this is the moment of truth. You know, 46, 47 bucks, mid-40s in general has been a huge resistance for months on the stock. If we're able to take that point out, hey, this could be going back 50 plus, which I think it was at a couple of years ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago before the whole pandemic started, this was a 60 $55 stock, low 50s dollar stock. So keep your eyes on that $50 resistance, guys. I'm telling you, and 48 in general, that general area, it's going to be a big sticking point. If we see buying pressure out of there, this one could be a nice play. DAL, Delta Airlines. So the next one here is Mastercard, ticker symbol MA. This stock went down 1% on the day today, but overall it's been reversing, kind of like DAL. It's one that was in a downtrend. Now it's slowly starting to reverse, and over the past, let's see here, roughly 2-3 months, this thing, more like 2 months, has been reversing above the moving averages. That's a very good sign. You guys can see we hit a low of 306. We broke the moving averages and the downwards channel. Now we're down. Today we went down 1%. Like I said, we're about to test the 180 moving average on this 4-hour chart at about 370. If we hold 370, 375, crack back over 380, there's a wide open gap between 380 and 400. So there's a 20-point window there that we can make a trade on Mastercard. So I'm going to set my alert on this one at 382. And as always, guys, if you want all my buys, sells, all that good stuff, call outs, kind of to see where my head is at and what I'm doing, morning videos, that's on Patreon. If you guys are interested, check it out, link down below. So I'm putting my alert at 382 on Mastercard. And again, if we break 400, could be right around the corner. Now let's talk about Redfin. I mean, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but Redfin's getting slaughtered today, as well as DraftKings, which I made a whole video on DraftKings earlier. We broke down their earnings release, some numbers, kind of the charts, what I think about DraftKings. Go check out my previous video, but we didn't talk about Redfin today, and Redfin went down just as much as DraftKings, down 20%, and they reported earnings, I believe, this morning. Or was it yesterday? It was actually yesterday after market hours. So they've probably been tanking the past 24 hours at this point. So they did negative 27 cents EPS. So they lost 27 cents versus the 31-cent loss estimated. So they beat EPS and they beat revenue, $643.1 million versus $598.76 million. And they see full year, or actually I don't see the full year number, but I do see Q1. They see Q1 sales of $535 million to $560 million versus $524.59 million. So they guided up Q1 sales. They double beat in the previous quarter, and they see a pretty big loss of around $122 million in the first quarter. So there's cost of doing business, guys. They're going to be losing money. This company is obviously not consistently profitable. I'm not sure if they've had a profitable quarter. I doubt that they have. And the stock's cratering, and I'm not really sure exactly why. Again, I'm not a big fan. I've never really mentioned this on the channel. I feel like maybe I've hinted at it, but I'm not a huge fan of the Zillows, the Redfins, Rocket Mortgage, these real estate oriented. I know Rocket Mortgage does different things, but I mean, it has mortgage in the name. So, I'm not a big fan of these, and the market's punishing the stock today for some odd reason. I'm not seeing it. I don't think it's guidance. They had a double beat, so it can't be that. Maybe it's just the real estate market in general. Maybe it's starting to come down a bit. I mean, I know it's been coming down, but who knows? Maybe they're pricing in a rough 2022, 2023. You guys know stocks are forward-thinking vehicles, so what do you think, guys? What do you think? Redfin's crashing. DraftKings is crashing. The markets are not looking good. Ford spinoff, what's going to happen with that? Cisco, O'Reilly, the airlines, Omicron, the case is coming down. There's a lot going on. Of course, Russia, Ukraine, who knows what's going to end up happening with that. A lot's going on. So what do you think? Drop me a comment, hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts again. And, join my Patreon if you want all my moves, morning videos, Discord access, more access to me one-on-one. That's on Patreon. And you guys could also get some free money from M1 Finance, $50 free from them. No joke. Link down below. And 5 stocks from Moomoo. 5 stocks, each valued up potentially excuse me, to $3,500. Get your money for Moomoo. Link down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully my voice clears up. I'll catch you guys. Have a great weekend. Peace out.